Welcome to my channel, Dripping in Alchemy. My name is Starr. Today I'm going to enter the space with a little bit of sound. Please ground your energy, everyone. It is a very strong message that is coming through right now. So I'm filming 2 videos back to back today. So you're going to receive the first video after I posted this one the day after. But I am just reading straight Oracle today. And I feel very cool to say to everyone that is here, please go steady and slow right now. And I am filming this over the bank holiday weekend for those that are in the UK. So go easy if you manage to catch this in time. And I know that everyone gets very excited at that time, but you're going through exponential growth at this time. So you need to trust in where you're being led. I'm hearing on the inside. So if you feel like, actually, I made these plans and I'm not supposed to go there, trust them is what I'm hearing. Yeah, with Wolf and Winter, take care of your needs. And for some of you, you know, you really haven't been listening to your own needs. You've really just been distracting self. You've just been wanting to put head down into work, I'm hearing, and not listening to what you're truly feeling. Yeah, the great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. And I think it's because you've been quite fearful of stepping into your spiritual experiences of late. Perhaps you've had, you know, quite an accelerated expression with regards to stepping towards, you know, those that are more further advanced in their expression. There might be someone that has stepped into your life that has triggered an awakening in some sense. And I think that it's made you fearful of stepping forward and receiving that guidance. Yeah, stargaze and set your sights higher. And for some of you, you know that this is what this means. You know that stepping forward into the strongest aspects of you, if it's not someone else, this is now taking that step forward to be this great teacher that you know that you are, that you already are, that I'm hearing. And for some of you, it's kind of, I don't mean to laugh, but the way that it's coming forward, like your guides are almost laughing because it's like you're the only one that is denying this truth already. For some of you, you're like, oh, I can't step forward and be a great teacher, but you've already been doing it. So I'm hearing you kind of can't take it back because you already are that. Does that make sense? How it's coming forward is very comical, and I don't mean to laugh because I think that some might be quite upset by that. And I'm only chuckling because you can't see yourself clearly. Yeah, stag and trust trust and thrive. And I was going to say trust the time, but I saw this Trickskillion as well, the symbol yesterday somewhere out in nature, very random, and I thought, oh, that's going to come through at a certain point, and it's here and now. The high priest, intend and create. And this is where some of you are or have been hesitant to create something. And your teams of light are saying that now is the time, and to strike while the iron is hot within you, because I'm hearing that you do work very closely with the cyclical nature of life. So you are in this summertime now, for some of us in the northern hemisphere. So strike while that inspiration and that energy is hot, which is why I think it is take care of your needs, because there might be an energy for some that, you know, you kind of just want to go out and party. And if it's not party, it's just distract self in whatever way that is. And your teams are like saying, no, please hunker in. And when you're inside, almost treat your time like it's winter. And then when you're outside and, you know, you are going to events or whatever else, even if you are an event planner, you know, put all of your energy into that space, of course. But when you come back, make sure that you are retreating and resting. And this is definitely in correlation to a message I received from the first reading that I did. And this idea of short bursts of energy, of putting a lot into a project and then stepping back, putting a lot into a project and then stepping back. And for some, you know, you didn't want to work that way because you believed that you wasn't going to be able to receive the amount of abundance that you need to sustain that lifestyle. And I'm hearing that you will. So don't plan for things for the monetary consistency. Plan for the highest enjoyment and vibration of yourself and others. And know that the backing will come, the financial backing would come whenever you need it. And maybe this will be investors that you haven't even thought about stepping forward and saying, hey, you know, I want to support what you're doing. So trust in that energy too, for some of you. And, you know, for some, I think you just don't see this coming. And this has very much been hidden by your teams of light. But you're going to have more support than you could have ever wanted. And there was a message about connecting with others and that being a safe space now, because you're around others that understand their own triggers, and they're going to be able to understand, you know, when they're feeling triggered for a reason and why. and be able to work with you and celebrate you. And the message was to just celebrate each other's expressions that, you know, we adore from one another when we are in collaboration with others. You know, the reason that we want to work with others or be friends with others or be interacting with others in whatever way is because we adore what that person has or does to some degree, you know, whether it's a soul recognition, whether it's something that you really admire in another person. We all band together to create this, you know, cacophony. That's not even a word that I would ever say, so I hope that that fits. Of Oh, I wanted to say cacophony to surrender to, because that vibration is raising because of all of these people coming together. And I was saying I was having such a resistance a couple of years ago, you know, with working with others, because it hadn't been a fun space for me being around a lot of people at certain times in my life. So I just thought, I don't want to invite anyone else into this because I feel like it's just going to be painful. And I'm hearing those times have passed, and yeah, you're moving into a calmer space with everything. The wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. Exactly what I was saying. 551, 552 on the clock there. And yes, for some, you are set to receive such great gifts, and it's because you have given so much to others. And it's not about giving to receive, but you were just consistently giving, so that you are due such karmic I don't like the word retribution, but that's how it's coming through. It's like, no, what is coming, you are deserving of. So please get that in mind, because I think some in the collective are really ripe to receive, and it might throw you off balance if you don't trust it. You are supposed to receive, okay? The wellspring, what are you thirsty for? Body care, take a breath. And I really took the deepest breath reading that card. So some of you might want to get into breath work. You might want to be in a space of really deep breathing for self. For self-regulation, especially with the Stargazer card. You know, if you've been really struggling to step forward in the highest vibration of you, breathing is going to help you enter into that space. King Tide, plenty prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. And for some, you are ready to receive. And, you know, this might be a masculine counterpart to you for some right now, and you know, you just didn't see this coming. Or for some, you know, you've been feeling the vibration of, okay, someone or something's coming in, but you might be afraid of how this is going to step forward to you. And I'm hearing that's completely understandable given where you've been, but this person is going to mirror back to you all the things that they adore about you, and you're going to be able to work through your triggers and fears together. And that's what true communication and love is being able to accept everyone exactly as they are, you know, faults and all. And I don't believe that faults exist, so I'm going to have to find another word for it, but that's how it keeps coming through. But just this idea of, you know, the perceived spaces of lack, what you consider to be lack within self, others don't even see, and vice versa, which is why it's so beautiful to be in community. It's making me want to cry, because when it's imbalanced, you know, people see the best version of you, and you get to see the best version of them, and that's what creates a harmonious expression for all, is that you're all just celebrating each other and helping each other work through the difficult bits. And you know, I'm feeling this energy, and I think why I'm welling up is because I know that some, you know, you thought you had community somewhere, you thought you had spaces of people that you could trust, and then you realize that you couldn't. And that's been a painful process to be in and sit through, but it's all just been learning, and things are different now is what I'm hearing. The right people are stepping towards you to help support you in this next phase of life. And you know, it's not because those people weren't good people, it just means that you are on a different spectrum of understanding. When someone can't see eye to eye to you, it's just never going to work. And you know, I think this might be quite painful endings for some, so please take the time to understand that you deserve to be around those that can celebrate you for exactly as you are. And that's what's most important. And I think that it's difficult when you can see from a higher perspective, and perhaps you want to help someone, you know, get out of the space that they're in, because you can see that it's harming them. But if they don't believe that for themselves, then, you know, your advice isn't going to help them. And I think some have learned this, you know, the hard way, myself included. It was like, no, I'm painful to them, even though I want to help them. So just remember that too. You know, if there's been backlash in your spaces of people that didn't want your advice, I'm hearing, even if you asked for it, you know, just understand that that wasn't you. That was spaces that they needed to grow within self, and you learned the lesson of, you know, just because someone hears a message, it doesn't mean that they're ready to step into and embody that understanding. So this doesn't mean that you're not a great teacher for some, okay? I think this is what is perhaps causing a dissonance in your expression, because you have been going through learning aspects of your life and the phases that you've been going through in your spiritual awakenings, but you are already a great teacher. And just because some weren't ready to receive your guidance and implement it, that's no fault on you. You shared the message that you were supposed to give, and however others perceive that, I want to take that with them, you know, that is them. This is a them, not a you, because I don't like to say problem, because, you know, I don't think anything is a problem. It's all just learning, and it takes time to get there. Selkie, coming out of hiding, embrace who you really are. And this is where some of you are, and you're terrified to do this. You're terrified to step forward and share exactly who you are, because you have been scolded in the past, I'm hearing, and, you know, that's been a painful process for you to be in. But the right people are going to find you now, and there's always going to be pushback in your spaces. And I was watching another reader the other day, and this idea of everything coming at the exact same time and opening a door, you know, you're opening the door for the perceived good, but also the perceived negative, all at the exact same time. So if you have had pushback in your spaces, it doesn't mean that what you were doing was wrong. It just means that you're receiving the energy of the all, and that is kind of what life is. You know, we receive everything all at once, I'm starting to see, and even great things come all at once, which can be quite overwhelming. And for some, you know, if this is what is happening, or you perceive to be, you know, potentially happening, or what is going to happen, know that you can handle everything. We aren't ever given anything that we can't handle. And even at the time when it feels very overwhelming, trust that you will know what to do in the right spaces in the right time. And trust the guidance you are being given. I think for some, you know, this idea of others not being able to receive your guidance in the way that you wanted them to has really set you back. You really felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because, you know, I'm not good at this. And I'm hearing for some, you know, this is quite an extreme message, but for some, you know, others knew this about you and they ran with this. They didn't want you to step forward exactly as you are in the highest vibration, because they knew how powerful you were going to be. And I'm hearing the ops were working through them, and only take that if you know that that resonates. But for some, that's going to resonate, and I can completely empathize with that. So I'm sorry that's where you've been. But when you are a high vibrational being here, you know that counterbalancing energy is always going to be around. So I'm sorry that you received that, but it is not to tell you that what you are doing is wrong. It's just to help you understand that actually you're pretty fucking important, you know, which is why it was stepping forward. So don't hold any grief around that anymore. Just keep moving forward, which is easier said than done, but release it and keep stepping forward. 12:12 on the clock there. Clear waters, clear vision, confirmation, right timing, opportunities. And it's interesting because I realize that I've been putting down the cards. They are not in focus in the background, and I think that's with divine purpose too. For some of you might feel like you're in quite a hazy state, and this is just to let you know that you are expanding, and to trust in that energy. And for some, you haven't even reached, you know, not even a quarter of the pinnacle of your peak that you are able to access this lifetime. And this is where the work needs to be put in now. Mothers of the salt waters, passion, wild love, open your heart and let love in. And for some, you know, letting love in is going to be the greatest gift of work that you could possibly give to this lifetime, because for you to be able to love again, share love again, you know, that is the highest vibration possible. But I'm hearing that every op that was out there was stopping you, or trying to stop you from reaching that point in life. And I can resonate with this. When I first started to awaken, I was given the message that I was here to love and be loved, and I didn't understand what that meant. And only over time, slowly but surely, have I started to really unpack what that means. And I very much felt like that was a personal message for me. You know, time after time after time, I just felt like the rug was pulled from underneath me. Anything that felt like a safe space, it suddenly wasn't. And it's quite shattering to the system. And yes, some of that has been initiation for some, but for some, you truly were working at the hand of the ops here. And don't gaslight yourself to think that you weren't. For some of you, I feel like your journey has just been so expansive that you're almost struggling to hold on to the truth for self, because it's not what we've been taught. It's not what we've been told is true and truly exists. But it's been here, okay? It's been here, and you have experienced it. And if you would like to work one-to-one with me to help unpack some of what you've been through, I've had such a wild ride of a spiritual awakening, and, you know, I barely touched the surface over here, and I was told to do that. But in other spaces, you can see what I've been through. So please do reach out to me. How to contact me is in the description below, but you can shoot me an email and I will send over to you some aspects and presences that I've been in, that are on the absolute fringes of the taboo of this life and spiritual warfare, that I think some truly wouldn't believe, unless they meet me and see, you know, in my eyes that I'm not lying. But there is a lot that's out here, and for some, you've truly experienced all. And, you know, my heart goes out to you. I embrace you in such a loving hold of empathy and compassion, and I hope that you're giving that to yourselves. But I'm going to move on to some of the animal oracle, and I'm being told to share that I'm drinking a mindful blend which has got blood orange, rosemary, magnesium and botanicals of lion's mane, ashwagandha and lithiane. I'm not sure how you say that, but it's delicious. And for some, botanicals is the way forward, and it's time to trust in your green thumb, I'm hearing, which is a beautiful message. Magnetism through gratitude. So please be grateful for everything that you have experienced, even the negative, but it's because it has taught you lessons. And even the ops coming up against you, you know, that karma is going to be brought back to you because, you know, you didn't call this upon yourself. This was unjust experiences. So all of that love is going to be brought back to you. And how beautiful is that we've got the 3 cups with the hearts here, with about checking in with love and receiving. You are a very enigmatic and magnetizing being, I'm hearing, and everyone knows this, and for some you've received backlash of this, you know, this lifetime, but you're going to find souls that can receive and give to you that love back. So trust in that knowing, okay? You are about to shine. And for some, yeah, this is coming in very, very soon. 31 and 26. So between the 26th and the 31st of the next month, a lot is going to change for some in the collective. Please use your discernment. Self, and I knew this card was going to come out. Self-love, self-worth, self-value, self-respect. So self-love above all else. Right now, everyone, this is what's going to bring in your abundance. So for some, all you had to do was love yourself, and now you're in the highest vibration of abundance for you. Face your fears. And 38. This is a reminder that you received your key already to some. So use it. What's the key going to unlock for yourself now? And I received a key in a dream space where, you know, I was unlocking my soul from a place that I was held captive against my will, which, you know, we're getting quite expansive here, but I found myself in a cage and I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. And as soon as I got this key, I unlocked myself, and it was like I was looking at myself from the 3rd perspective, and I could just see this cowering being with massive wings, and I was in a very dark and desolate space, and I just said, I'm not supposed to be here. Why am I here? So I'm sharing that in case that resonates for some. Perhaps you feel like, you know, you've been in spaces that you know you truly didn't belong, but now you're releasing yourself from that, and you're moving forward into your light and into your expression of true love here. Inner conflict resolution, I think that's where some are now in this collective. 11, 38 and 6, you are having conflict resolution with self, I'm hearing, because everything that you've gone through a life review, and now you're looking back and seeing the spaces that you were always just the light, and you're ready to accept that about self. And I'm hearing that you weren't ready to accept that about self before because there were so many projections of others. And I pulled the card, which is See Beyond the Past, and I'm going to share this in the community tab because I don't think I've done it yet, but this is a very beautiful card, and it's about, you know, the ugly duckling, or the duckling that looked a little bit different and not seeing their true reflection because others weren't ready to see their beauty because they were different. And I'm hearing, you know, this is a story, and it's an age-old tale, and so many, you know, before us and after us are still going to receive this, and it is a great story of growth. But also know that this makes you a great teacher. Everything that you've gone through, everything that you perceived as a stumbling block or something that was unjust, you know, you can take those stories with you. And I'm hearing, you know, that is the greatest comeback, is coming back from adversity stronger, better, brighter, wiser, and saying, okay, that was my past, but this is who I am now. And also setting strong boundaries. And I'm hearing for some, you've certainly done this, and, you know, you said effort to the man, to those that didn't believe in you, and, you know, that is no disrespect on them, and, you know, that's not what we're trying to do here, and you shouldn't be in that energy. But this is how the divine are bringing it forward, in terms of, you know, you said F no to that. I'm going to keep doing me, and they're so proud of you, because everyone is on their journey, and that is okay, and that's going to be their journey to healing through that process. So trust in that energy also. But don't stop shining your light. I really feel like I'm literally hugging myself. I'm hugging myself when I'm squeezing my arms, and it's just like a yeah, self-soothing is going to be the way forward for some, and the way to help you you know, get to the best space for you. But trust in your light and in your love. And for some, you are such a loving being. Please do not let others tell you otherwise, because it's just simply not true. Oh, I will let go of my self-limiting beliefs. Now I'm seeing a lot of butterflies in my mind's eye this morning when meditating. So you might want to research some butterflies. You might want to start to paint butterflies. Something in that. There's something to the butterfly that's a message. I'm becoming the kind of person who I would love to meet. I'm becoming the kind of person who I'd love to meet. I'm becoming the kind of person who I'd love to meet. And I was out for a night out last night, and at the end of the evening, a cowboy appeared in the corner of a street, and I actually knew this person. And when I saw them, it didn't look like this person, it looked like a cowboy straight from America. And I thought there was going to be a significant notion of this, and here it is. So something about being a cowboy, space cowboy too, that anime stepping forward, so you might want to partake in that if you're an anime lover. It is a classic, but some you might not have seen it. I forgive myself, and I feel like this is the state 2:02 on the clock that some are in. You have to forgive yourself for the past and move forward. And for some of you, you know, you're in quite a psychedelic state at one point and you didn't know up from down, left from right, and that's okay. And this might be also a reason why you don't think you're a great teacher, because you feel like you've gotten some things wrong. But I'm hearing where you were, everyone would have gotten this wrong too. I think that there has been a lot of trickery in your camp. There has been a lot of trickster energies in your field, in your vicinity, working through others and yourself, and it was almost like it was a lose-lose battle at some point for some, is what I want to share. And everything that you've gone through has been much bigger than you, so trust in that, okay? Because now's the time for you to move forward. And for some, you know, and I hate sharing these messages, but it's coming through, so apologies, but use your discernment, because it won't be for everyone. Some don't want you to forgive yourself, and this is what's keeping you trapped, okay? And this is how you can know too, you know, if someone is truly for you or not, because if they continue to hold a grudge, and even if you say sorry, you know, they can't forgive you from a heart soul space, then they're just trying to perpetuate a cycle. But if someone steps forward and apologizes in whatever form, and a soul says to you, you know, okay, it might be difficult to accept you back into my life, they might not even want that. But if they say, you know, I accept your apology at a soul's level, this is how you know. And I'm hearing for some, it's very pinpointed, but this is with regards to a relationship. You know, if someone couldn't forgive you at a soul's level, it's because they were continuing to perpetuate a cycle. And that's something to look at. If you feel like you're just arguing over the same things over and over again, then there is a loop there that needs to be broken through for some. And perhaps, you know, this might be a loop that you feel like you can't work through, and that's okay, but you have to forgive yourself and move forward, is what I want to share. Does that make sense? I feel like that came through in a very convoluted way, and I think it's because everyone's situation is very different, and it's not going to be, you know, perhaps it's not friendship, relationship, perhaps it's romantic. If it's not romantic, it's friendship. And it's okay to have forgiveness and not want others back in your life. I think this is also something that some need to forgive themselves for. You feel mean for blocking some out of your life. But if you feel that, you know, that person won't be able to bring anything positive to your life, you're well within your rights to do that, is what I want to share. So forgive yourself for not feeling safe. And it's okay to not feel safe in the energy and the company of some. If someone doesn't make you feel safe, it's okay to say, you know, I don't want to be around them. So forgive yourself and forgive that person, you know. And I think that's also to help you to see if you are coming from a true forgiving space too. Is your heart truly forgiving others, or I'm hearing, are you being stubborn? And, you know, wanting some to not forgive themselves. So perhaps, you know, you're of that energy too, and it's okay to recognize that within self, but this is helping you to see what might be out of balance. If you can't forgive someone at a soul-centered space and not have them back in your life, you know, that's okay. But if you still feel like you can't forgive them at a soul's level, then there's something out of balance. Perhaps this is to help you see where you've got attachments, because, you know, it's only negative energies that don't want others to be forgiven. So yeah, we're getting quite deep here. So if this resonates with you, and I felt like there was like, yeah, it was foggy, so interference. Yeah, some you might have interference in your energy with this. So take some time to be with you, but this is just an encouragement to keep going. But the soul always knows the truth. So sink into the seat of the soul in order to be able to set yourself and others free. But that's all for today. I want to say, friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back real soon. Take care. 24:24 on the clock there. Beautiful. Bye.